Hello, today I will show you how to install AWX using Ansible playbook. But before I will do this, I would like to talk more about what AWX is and how we can achieve our goal. So let's switch to browser. And here you can see what the AWX is in fact. So you can read that AWX provides a web-based user interface, REST API and task engine built on top of Ansible. It is one of the upstream projects for Red Hat Ansible automation platform. And you have the guide, but we will use something different. We will use AWX operator. And the AWX operator documentation is now available under the URL that is provided. So I have it here and I will install using the customization.yum. But before I will proceed, I will explain what customize is. So first of all, what you need to do, you need to download the customize. And here we have a URL that is doing the job. This is just a one-liner. So it's downloading the customize script, the bash script, and it executes this. So what it is doing, actually it is creating a binary customize, and then we can use it. What customizes? It is a Kubernetes configuration transformation tool that enables you to customize untemplated YAML files, leaving the original files untouched. Customize can also generate resources such as config maps and secrets from other representations. But before we will proceed, I will try to explain more about this. So here you need a customization.yum file. This is crucial because the name cannot be different. It had to be customization.yum with the following content that is provided in this documentation. What you need to understand, that it is good to understand releases. So here in the comment you have the URL provided, so I will click it here and you can see that we have releases, right? So here you have a button tags. If you will click, you will see the tag is identical to release versions. This is very good. So in this case, we will use tag 2.8.0. Excellent. Go back to basic installation step. Here you can see this tag and you need to replace this tag with the number, with the version of the AWX operator. So will be ref equals 2.8.0 and exactly the same tag will be here. And then you can see it is using namespace AWX, but the namespace has to be created first. And also you can see you can define the image. What is interesting here, and this is the root of the customize, that you can not only define the resource like here, you can see, so you cannot only define the GitHub resources, but you can also add here by adding dash and name of the YAML file, additional files. And I will try to scroll down, and here there is a nice explanation, because here it tells you how to run the customization.yum file. But here you have something like, of course, there is a check, kubectl getpods and namespace AWX, but here you have to create, for example, a file named AWX demo yum in the same folder with the suggested content below. The metadata name you provide will be the name of the resulting AWX deployment. So if you deploy more than one AWX instance to the same namespace, be sure to use unique names. And this is the demo. This is just an example. So you create such pod AWX, and with the name AWX demo, and this is a service type node port. And of course, you can then define another service type. You can define a cluster IP, for example, and ingress type root, and like this. But I will click on home, and there is code of conduct, installation, get involved, and installation here, and not much. So in basic install, you have everything what you need to understand. But if you go back to binaries, where you have this one-liner, and you will click on the installation, for example, here you have a customize and go source binaries Docker image. So you can see you can install it on a different way. So you can take the binaries, you can use the source code, you can use a Docker image if you want to, Homebrew and Chocolately. Nice. And the question is what I did. So you can install, of course, kubectl is required. So in this case, you can do this and you can install it this way. So you have different approaches. So you can install it the way you want to. But it is good to understand what the customize is. And if I will try to go to release page here, and you have the customized version. And if you will click on customize and we'll scroll down, you can see the usage, exactly how to use the customize, and there is a nice explanation here, and this is something that I wanted to show you. So let's go back to basic install. So here, and I will show you in this example, you have a GitHub and Ansible, AWX operator, config default, and the tag, right? And then you create a new line, dash, and for example, file, like here it is explained deployment yum. So dash deployment yum. What customize will do, it will pick up the content of the deployment and it will build it. So you can see you have some application, you have a deployment yum, customization yum, and service yum. And if you will define, like here, you can see customization.yum file is defined. And inside this, you have resources and you have a deployment and service. And this is the root of customize. So you can define files and you can modify them, and without modifying the customization.yum. The customization.yum is some kind of template that is untouched. In fact, that is solid rock stable, and all you have to do, you just add proper yum files here and use them to build your application. So in fact, customize is working like a make. So it is building up from sources. So make is using in C or C++, for example, files like headers, and the main, of course, and many other files that you're using. And using these files and linker, it is building up the executable. And customize is working in a similar way in Kubernetes by building up using YAML files, defined in customization.yum file. That's it. And this is crucial step, because with this, we will be working and we will be installing AWX using exactly this solution. So let's go back here, and then I will switch to the command line and I will show you the example. So what I did, I copied the content of this file and put it into the customization file. So here I have a command line and I will edit the awx-install.yml file, and not YAML, but YML. Yeah, for Ansible playbook, I can use YML, but inside I have YAML defined. So yeah, it's installing on localhost. As you can see, become means become a pseudo user. Then we have tasks, download, customize. Yes, so what is it doing? It's downloading the binary. Actually, it's creating binary, and then you have to create a namespace, AWX. It can be done later, but then move customize. So you can see it's creating a binary. So then you have to move it to use a local bin. And that is all. There is no need to do anything else. Then create AWX YAM file. And it is very important that if you do like this EOF, then the next line and each line must be created like this. So let's say that C is a kind of a wall, and this is the first line of our file AWX YAM. So there will be spaces, of course, but only these two, and these two spaces will be inside the AWX YAM file. But here you have more spaces, and this is required. The length, the tabs, the spaces, they have to be there, because if you will not put it correctly, like here, the whole installation will fail. So you need to remember about this, all the spaces here, all the tabs to be there, just because this is very important and this is crucial. YAM file structure is very, very important. And then you can see bin bash will execute the command cat that will create a file AWX YAM and will put the content into the AWX YAM file. And the same situation here, create customization.yam file and create a file customization.yam using a cat that will be executed by bin bash. And into this file, you will have to put this customize config, customization kind, right? And here you can see exactly, I defined the AWX YAM file that is here. And the customize will be able to read this file, take the content that is inside this file and build properly pod. And you can see I defined also tags. So all the tags are here, and that is all. You do not define here in this AWX.yam file, you do not define a namespace. So just you define namespace only here for customization. And right now, after that, kick off the building of the Ansible AWX and customize build.pipe kubectl apply -f-, and this should work. Let's then save the file and execute. So Ansible -playbook AWX install.yml, and here we go. It's done, like a charm. There is no problem. OK, 7, everything is done. Play recap. Now you need to understand two things. AWX will not work immediately. This is something that is crucial step, and thanks this, you will be able to understand how it is working. I will put now the command to get the logs from AWX, but I will switch to next SSH session because I logged into the Ranger on a separate SSH session, and I will use something like one-liner kubectl logs -f deployment /AWX -operator -controller -manager -c AWX -manager -n AWX. So it will get logs from the deployment of the AWX operator control manager in the namespace AWX. So let's do this. Here we go. And error but request. OK, it's waiting to start. That is fine. Why it doesn't work? Because it is starting. So what to do? Quite easy. kubectl get pods and namespace AWX, and eventually you have to watch it. So use the watch in the beginning of this command and observe the situation. 2 of 2 must be ready. here, okay, it's ready. Now Control C to break it, and one more time run kubectl logs, and this time you can see it is exactly telling you what is going on. And there is no need to use watch in the front of this command, because kubectl logs, it is working like a watch, like a tail -f command, and it is working live on the screen. And now I will go back for a moment to the first instance of SSH session now, and we'll try to use watch command, but I want to observe what is going on my Kubernetes, actually kubectl get pods, but I want to observe all the pods in all namespaces, and you can see what is going on here. So we have a lot of pods, but we can observe AWX namespace here, and also you will be able to observe another solutions here. But if you want more clear view and you want to observe only AWX namespace, so Control C and use namespace AWX, and now we will be observing the situation only in AWX namespace. Excellent. So here we can see AWX operator controller manager has been created. 2 of 2 are running. Excellent. So 2 containers are running, and that's all. And we have also the pod AWX Postgres 13.0. So now you can see the database pod is creating, and you have to wait for the pod. If you will go back to the session number 2, you can see all the time, you can see tasks that are just performing, and it is doing all the time all the changes. So it is creating proper pods, it is then deploying them, and then all the tasks that are defined will be performed inside these pods. I mean pods in more than one pod, right? Just because it will create more than one pod. And thanks to this, you can just, switch, and you can see what is going on. AWX operator created, AWX Postgres created, and you can up and running. And now it created next pod, AWX task, and with random string, and you can see random name 04. So and init. So there is an initialization of the whole configuration, and pod with task is running, and that is it. And now what you have to do, you have to observe the whole situation. But I will go back here and I will break this pod observation because I don't want to observe it all the time, and instead I will try to find out what services have been created in the namespace AWX. So kubectl, then get svc services, and now the namespace AWX. And here we go, it should show us services, and you can see we have AWX-service. And this is also good to understand, and I will explain how to work with this. So you can see something like play recap. Play recap is a crucial information. It means that everything has been done and you receive a kind of result. And if we'll go here you can observe the logs, and this format is Ansible format. I mean, at the end, when the job will be done, you will see something like this: play recap and result. How many failed, how many are success with OK status, changed, etc. Okay, so now we know we have to wait here for the final result. But we will go back to services. And now, very good explanation. Host name -i will show you the first IP address is the IP address assigned to this ranger virtual machine. So if you want to open the AWX dashboard in your browser, you need to understand how nodes ports are working. And I was explaining it previously in one of the tutorials, but I will explain it one more time. So this is the service created, and there is an internal IP address assigned to it. And this node port is working the way that it is exposed on port 80 internally on this IP address, and it is doing the redirect to port 360. This is an external port. So if you want to understand how it is working, first of all, internal port 80, what it says us that we are using HTTP, not HTTPS. So in browser, type HTTP : // now the IP address, external IP address of our ranger. So 10.10.0.123, then colon, and now we use the external port. You're right, 360. This way you can get into the AWX console, the dashboard, the GUI. So copy this and try to put it to your web browser, and you should be able to get into the environment. And you should be able to observe the situation and what is going on there. But you will not be able to observe it because the job is not yet done. So here you can observe that still there are tasks running and the job is not yet finished. So as long as the whole procedure is running, you will not be able to get to this dashboard, right? So we have to wait till the end when it will be done and will display play recap like it is here. Then you will be able to copy the URL and put it to your browser and see the dashboard. That's it. So you have to wait for this, and thanks to this you will be able to get into the AWX console. Unfortunately, the problem is that the whole action is quite long and it takes up to 10, even 15 minutes. So we have to wait for the action. Okay. I will show you something now, just because this is the step where we can try to open our browser. Installer says migrate the database if the KTLS resources were updated. So in this step we can try to open the browser, and here we go. You can see exactly the IP address and the port number in the URL in the address bar. And you can see the status AWX is currently upgrading. This page will refresh when complete. So now we have to wait. Now we can see that AWX panel is working, but I will switch to the command line and I will show you that the job is not yet done. So here we have to wait for play recap. Now we can see we have a play recap. So there is a summarize. 81 OK. And only one is ignored and skipped 81. Okay, so actually Ansible runner exited successfully, and this is it. This is the end. Control C to exit to the bash, and now go back to browser and you should see the status. Welcome to AWX. Now you're wondering how to log in there. Using login admin, but how to get the password? Okay, let's go back to command line and I will show you. What you need to do, you need to just decode the password using Kubernetes. So here we go. I will clear the screen now and I will put it here. kubectl get secrets AWX admin password, and we are using JSON path, data password, and namespace AWX and base64 decode. And if I will hit enter, it shows the password. So what I have to do, I need to highlight it, then Ctrl+Shift+C, and thanks to this I copied the password. So let's go to browser now and we should be able to get into the panel, and here we go. So let's log in admin and the password. Log in there and the panel is working. One thing is worth to mention: go to admin, for example, user details, then click edit, or eventually on the left panel users, admin, edit, the same thing. And what you need to do, you should change the password and use your own password for this administrator account. Okay, so I will now try to change it and we'll use it. So give me a second and I will generate a password using a password generator, and we'll change the email to like this, and that's it. You can click save and it should save the password. So now you can log out and log in back to check is the password working correctly. So let's do this. And my new password is working. I'm able to log in and I'm logged in. So let's switch to camera, and now that's the end of the story. I would like to wish you a nice day or night. Take care. Bye bye.